I haven't done a video in a long time, and for that, I apologize. I have been so overwhelmed, so much shit to do. As you can see, I got drywall shit on my boobs and everything else. But this will be part 6. I promise. I might do more than one video. We'll see. Right now, I'm doing mud and drywall and stuff, so busy gal. I left you when I was like 10. My mom got married. We moved to a 3rd floor apartment. We were on Elm Street in Norwalk, Connecticut. My stepfather, the shining beacon of fucking adult, is a total douchebag. And there are 4 apartments in our part of the little apartment building, that old Victorian. And I'm gonna have to change the names of at least one of my friends, just because I don't know how they would feel about their story being told. So I had this one friend, just gonna call her Jennifer, because I'm Jennifer, and this would just be easier. She lived around the corner from me. And I don't really, have a lot of friends growing up. I know I told you that. And it's not that I didn't want friends. I just didn't really understand social stuff. Now, as an adult, I have been diagnosed officially with Asperger's. So I'm slightly on the spectrum. But back in the 70s, you did not get your kid diagnosed with shit because it meant drugs and social stigma and go down on your permanent record and you'll never have a good career or job if you get a mental illness. Not that it's... explains my hyper-intelligence and a lot of other shit, my creativity, but it's certainly my social awkwardness. Anyway, so I had this one friend, and I had a couple little friends at that time, a little group of us, kind of outcast, but not. She was never really popular, but not unpopular. In 8th grade, I finally became popular for like a whole year. But, like 10, 11, I'm playing at her house a lot, and she had a little brother, and he was cool as shit. Don't remember his name. Call him Mike. Because it's common names back then, Jennifer and Mike, right? So they were cool. As an adult, looking back now, I see all the signs that her, I think, stepfather or father was probably doing the wrong things, or at least not doing them, and saying a lot of stuff, because she grew up a lot quicker than I did. I still want to be a kid forever. I want to play D&D and, play in the woods and just play and pretend. I don't want to give up my shit, I remember not even being interested in music that much. And I like music a lot now, but I just wasn't interested in it. I was interested in reading books and, being outside and adventures and shit like that. So she's the one who kind of pushed me as a friend to become more grown up and kiss boys and be into boys, which I just really wasn't that interested in. I'm sure I wanted a little boyfriend or whatever, but I just wasn't. We still spent a lot of time together and hanging around and stuff like that. And this probably, my desire to be grown up like my friend or mature like my friend, probably led to the disaster of the next 20 years of my fucking life. I was 14 years old when I was babysitting before then. Like I was 12, 13. I used to babysit for the people downstairs. And my mom had my sister, so I babysit for her. But I was 14 years old when my stepdad, and they used to hang out at the Eagles Club, had this friend, Mark, I won't forget his name, had me babysit his 2 kids. And he came back, and Mark, brought me some Peachtree Schnapps. And I was no stranger to drink it at 14. It's, my family's from the Appalachians. There's always alcohol. My grandmother's Hungarian. She's from Hungary. There's always alcohol. It's not that my family are a bunch of lushes, but all 3 of the male veterans of war in my house drank a lot to cope with their problems. My mom drank a lot of beer, pacing up with them. My grandmother always had wine with a good meal or after supper and everything to help digest the food. So I was no stranger to alcohol. I didn't have a desire to be wasted or anything like that, but I've had alcohol, and I knew what I liked. I had screwdrivers, and I had Peachtree Schnapps, and, like different wines, and I used to like beer and stuff like that. So never forget this. So I'm still chaste, kissed a boy. I've done the little touchy-feelies and stuff like that. But this guy came back and he brought me a little Peachtree Schnapps. So we went to the bar. I'm like, yeah, I got Peachtree Schnapps, because I'm 14. I'm trying to act like I'm an adult. But my dad's friend, my mom's friends, my grandpa's friends, My uncle's friends all set me up for this too, you know? They're always commenting on my body and how I'm developing and growing up nicely and shit like that, you know? I remember being in a parade, before I tell you what happened, with a friend of mine, Chrissy Rauscher. You know, she asked me to be in a parade in New York with her. It was a German pride parade or whatever. And me and her were all little girls, you know? Some guy was holding his wife like, a bunch of fucking children. Men are fucking gross. And if you're watching this and you're a gross ass man, you're fucking gross. All right. Anyway, so back to Mark. He brings me a Peachtree Schnapps, and he says, "Well, let me show you. You know, my spare bedroom is cool as shit. You know, I was thinking about modeling it and all this stuff. I'm trying to. That's, I guess, what adults talk about. So then this asshole rapes me, and then tells me if I tell my dad, my dad would never believe me, and this, that, and the other, and I'll go to jail and all this shit. So he had me absolutely convinced that he, you know, right? And then he paid me money and told me because I accepted money, I was a whore. So this was my year 14. It created a whole lot of fucking problems for me. I did try to tell my mom, but my stepdad was convinced that I just made up stories. My mom was convinced I made up stories because my family, these not my family, but these two people in my life have literally zero fucking imagination. I have very extremely vivid dreams, and you cannot describe something without it being longer. I cannot describe this coffee, this sip of coffee I just took for you, in front of you, to you, without having to describe the detail. I can't be like, took a sip of coffee. The sip is still quicker than the description, right? So when I would describe my dreams, like you have to describe the details. Like I was walking out of forest and it was just dark, but I could feel the ground. It was so real and blah, blah, blah. Oh, dreams don't last that long, she'd say. Oh, you're making stories up. So my whole life, well, not my whole life, my entire, since you married Jack, it was everything I said out of my mouth was a fucking lie, which is why I get extremely reactive. If somebody accuses me of lying, I just don't lie. Sometimes I'll embellish a story with, like, you know, a little extra detail if I'm telling a story while we're drunk around a fire pit. And I'm making a story, you know? It's different than telling you something, but I don't fucking lie. There's no reason to it. And plus, neurodivergent people don't like lying, you know? So we just don't. It's just... truth is easier, you know? So, I wish people would quit calling me in the middle of doing something. Anyway, so the guy picks me up 2 more times, rapes me 2 more fucking times. And I just refused to go babysitting. He tells my dad I was just being difficult and I didn't want to babysit. And one night he tells me, oh, you know, come meet me babysitting or I'll get you in trouble with your dad. Grounded, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, sure, I'll meet you. And told my parents I was going to babysit. And I just didn't. I panicked. Like I fucking panicked. I did not get in the car. Instead ran away from home. And that's going to be a whole nother series of videos of why I kept running away from home. Because nobody would fucking believe me when I told them shit would happen. And I'm still pissed at my mother for that. Okay, I'm going to do another part 2 on this video. I'm going to let this one go right here, but this is part 5.1. I'm going to see what Neil wanted and I'll more video.